Ciao.
We start off with the team news. Who's available? Romero back, Bentancur, etc.
Romero is back. Yeah, he's back and is available for the game against Aston Villa. About Rodrigo and I think we have to wait and maybe today he's going to have an MRI and to try to have an evaluation about his injury, about his recovery. But for sure tomorrow for the game against Aston Villa is not available.
That sounds like it might be longer term than Rodrigo. Could he be missing for a while?
Yeah, but he had an injury during the World Cup, and then also yeah, the timing is more long than my expectation. Yeah, but these questions are more for medical department than me.
Can I just start by asking you, away from Tottenham, for your memories of Pele, and I don't know if you ever met him, if you were ever lucky enough to meet him.
Yeah, about Pele, we are talking about one of the most important player in the world, and we are talking about the story of football. I was lucky to know him, and yeah, honestly, I'm really sad for this. Yeah, for his death, because also Pele was a person that he was an important person in football, one of the most popular, maybe the more popular player in football, but his behavior and he was always a person that lived without arrogance, and he showed always to be an humble person, and despite, in my opinion, he was with Maradona the best players in the world, and yeah, I take this conference also to send his family condolences, and for me, my players, for the club, yeah. But for sure, we are really sad for this bad news.
Just final question from me, back on the subject of Spurs. It's 9 games in a row now that Spurs have conceded the first goal. Why does that keep happening, and why are we seeing a different side in the second half than the side we see in the first half?
But maybe, yeah, for sure it's strange. It's a strange situation, and to consider the first goal to go down for 9 games in a row is very strange, and at the same time it's good our reaction, and to try to level the result, and many times we were good to win the game, but for sure we have to try to from the start of the game to be really focused, to go into the game quickly, and also I think to pay more attention defensively. Don't consider a chance to our opponent to score for first. Yeah, but we spoke with the players, and yeah, maybe when you go to have only game and to play many games in a row, and you don't have the possibility to work under tactical aspect, under defensive aspect, I think that you can lose something. And but for sure, our intention to try to avoid this to go down, to go 1-0 down, 2-0 down, and to start the game in the best possible way.
Thanks, Jamie. Alistair?
Obviously, Christian Romero coming back. How, obviously, he's now a World Cup winner. How do you keep his feet on the ground and keep him kind of calm and composed and not get carried away with winning the biggest trophy in the world?
For what I saw in the last few days during the training session, I have seen him with great focus and with great desire to come back and to play with us and to go with his mind into Tottenham situation. Yeah, for sure. I'm really happy for him, and for us, it's important to have in our team two World Cup champion, and Hugo and Kuti. But he has to know very well that now starts the more difficult period for him, because the expectation is going to become high for him, and for this reason has to work much more, to continue to work, and especially don't lose the desire to improve himself.
Clement Lenglet, we saw at the weekend his ability to put a cross in, obviously two fantastic crosses for Harry. Is that something you've worked with him on, or something that he's just always had in his locker?
About Clement?
Yeah.
But Clement is a really good player. Don't forget that we are talking a player that played 5 years in Barcelona, with Barcelona, and when you play for many years in this type of club with a great story, with a great importance, and it means that you are a good player. And I think about him, he needed to put himself in a new challenge. And when I spoke with him this summer, I was very clear with him. If you have to come with us. If you deserve to play, you will play. I think that you are a really good player with great personality, good technically, and in the choices also during the game is really good. And I can tell you that it was a big surprise for me in a positive way, for his attitude, for his commitment, for his behavior. He's always not 100% during the training session, 120%. If he starts or if he knows that is not going to start. I think that we are talking about a really good player, and our choice was really good.
Will you be asking the club to keep him longer than his life?
You know, this is. I think the club. I don't know the situation about his contract, and you know very well that I can make evaluation about what I see during the training session into the pitch, and then I can make evaluation. I can give my opinion at the club. But you know, the club, for the club, is the last decision.
Okay, Alison?
Hi, Antonio.
Hi.
Can I ask you first of all, before we get into the game, about Pele and your memories of him and how you will cherish him?
Yeah, about Pele and my memories, and for what I was on TV. For the goal that he scored, and the first person spoke me about Pele was my father, and my father was in love with Pele because for him he was the best player in the world, and many times he spoke about him, and then I watched some games that he played, and especially game about the final, no, or World Cup, or some situation that was incredible. What he did with the ball, and the memories are this. And for sure, if I have to compare Pele with Maradona, it's different, no, because about Pele, I listen. I heard my father, and I watched through the TV his quality, and that he was an amazing player. And about Maradona, I had the opportunity to play against him, no, and then to see and to touch his ability. But I repeat, Pele was for my father was the best footballer in the world, and yeah, I grew my childhood with this figure, no, and because my father, not every day, but my father was my first coach, and yeah, and Pele for him was really the best.
Obviously, this is a very strange season with the World Cup just having happened. And I wonder, having had an opportunity to spend more time with perhaps some fringe players that you may not have known the qualities quite as much, is there any one in particular or anything in particular that's impressed you in this World Cup break that might allow you to give players opportunities that you may not have done in a normal season?
But about the players that play the World Cup, or about my players?
Players that stay behind.
They stay here. Okay, yeah, for sure. Yeah, you're right. You're right, because it was a great opportunity for me, my staff, to work with the players, especially with the young players that didn't play the World Cup, and to work with Pape Sarr. Pape Sarr played the World Cup, but then he came back 2 weeks before, and he worked with us. And I think Pape Sarr is a really good prospect, and I like the 2 weeks that we worked after the World Cup with him. And it was the same for Gilles, and we exploited this time to work with Skippy again, because Skippy is another player that last season, in my first 2-3 months, he helped me, and he helped a lot the team. Then he had an injury in his pubalgic zone, and then he stopped to work, and it was good for me to work again with him, to put a bit of pressure, no, under tactical aspect, under physical aspect, on his body, his mind. And also Harvey White was a good surprise, because we are talking about a young player, but really, really clever, and he's a player that I can ask him to play in every position, and he's good to do it. And I think it was positive to exploit this time. Then also to bring Doherty in a good physical condition after a serious injury, and the same was for Jeff, for Tanganga. Don't forget, for him was the same. He had a lot of problems with his knee, but during Christmas period we worked with him, and for this reason then I gave him the opportunity, the chance to play, because he deserved to have this chance. And but we tried to exploit this period during the World Cup to know much better the young player and to work much more with them.
George, we'll finish with you, please.
Antonio, you obviously want to stop this habit of conceding the first goal. Do you know your best back three as a combination? Do you think it would help if you could play that same back three over and over and get some consistency there?
But you know very well last season and we played with Dier, Cuti and Davies, Davies, and on the bench was usually and Jeff, Tanganga, they were the substitution, no? Sanchez and then Joe Rodon. Then we send Rodon to play to have more time in this season, and then we make a substitution with Clement, Lenglet. Yeah. I think all of these players they have to be able to play, and we work every day with all of these players. And for sure, there are moments that one player can be in a good form, and another maybe he needed a bit of rest to recover well, because maybe his mentally is a bit tired or physically. But I trust in my players. You know very well. I trust in my players, and we work with them every day, to improve the situation.
Romero struggled a little bit with injuries in the first half of the season and missed periods. Is it too much pressure to say him coming back and being fit for the second half of the season throughout could be the difference and could make the defence a lot more tight?
Yeah, but for sure we are talking about a good player and an important player for us. But that's true that he had injuries in this season, at the start, and also last season. Yeah, but and for this reason, it's important to have a good squad, because when there are these type of situation, injuries, you need to have players ready to play well, and don't pay a lot about the difference of the level.